Hi everybody, it's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan. Today's Tiny Tip Tuesday is pre-recorded because my husband is having a medical procedure this morning and I have a Stampin' Up! Event later in the evening, depending on how all things go. So this is pre-recorded, as I said. So shopping, MemoryINKers.com. This is the last day. Let's see, this is August 6th. This will be go live on August 6th. The hostess code is ZGH9J4DG. August 6th, 2024 is the last day to use this hostess code. Again, this is a pre-recorded video. So let me move a few things out of the line of sight so I can have a little more space. So for those of you who just watched on the previous Saturday, my video for volume, it was very brief, only 30 minutes. And of course I couldn't do everything, but it was on the Scenic Route Travel Kit. So I am going to show you my finished project. You can see I did make some changes on my cover. I put a picture of parts of the Riviera, did a few other things to fancy it up. And I'm not going to go through them all, but I showed you how I decorated the front. And then one of the things I want you to notice is, remember how I said to intertwine the pages? Notice that I made sure I did it the opposite way. Oops. That wasn't supposed to happen. The opposite way, so that I got two different colors here in the center. You can do it the other way if you want, but anyway, I've pretty much finished it all out. There's still some journaling that needs to go in there, but there's definitely a lot you can do with this awesome kit. And like I said, you can add pages, but as you see, I have stuff left over. So I have made some cards. I'm going to show you some, and I'm going to do one with you. Let me show you some of the quick cards that I did. Super simple. Used a stamp set. This is actually a bell pepper that is in the To Market DSP. My first thought was that it looked like a pumpkin. So I was going to make it a fall with a pumpkin and the bicycle, which is from the kit, and this is from the kit, and this is from the kit, and this is from the kit. But then it just didn't work out the way I'd hoped. So I just made it a fun. You brightened up my day, so many of my days. And then the inside uses a sticker also from the kit. This is a little note card that I said destination birthday date to do. So it's just a little note card. Another one where you could do something similar. Maybe these, you're planning a trip with a friend, and so I left it blank so you could fill it in. And then here's one of, hey, let's just go on a vacation. Let's go. And I left this blank too, so that if you wanted to put like anything in there that relates to where you want to go with your friend. So, and lastly, you guys, I don't know if you buy these, but this is my favorite gum. It's sugar-free, and it comes with this awesome case. So I just used a couple of the sentiments where I decorated a couple of notes with a few of the things that you could then keep in your purse or briefcase or bag. I'm not going to judge what you're carrying. All right. So now what am I going to do with what's left? All right. Let me have a seat. All right. So I have a lot of pieces left. Most of them are these leaf pieces. So they are going to be what I concentrate on. I do want to point out that a lot of these different languages, if you do not speak, I believe this is French, I think bonjour you could use. Most people would know what that is if you put that on an American card also. And even this, look, destination and date, those are the same. Also, see it says Mon Top 5. Well, just take off that and you've got top 5. Moments is the same. There's a lot of stuff in here that you could use from the other words. So, so don't like make them go away. All right. All right. So I also have this little piece here. I have quite a few of the little notes and labels and things. I'm not going to use everything. And these little pockets, surprisingly, I didn't use any pockets. I'm kind of like shocked by that. And then I have the alphabets left, what's left of them. And again, I said more pockets and things. So I wanted to show you that the pockets, when they are folded up, like so, will hold these pop-outs. So if you wanted to put those on the front of a card, you've got the pockets, and you could keep this for a template for yourself for how to make pockets. Although we do have a really cute pocket die in the catalog. Let's be honest, it's adorable. So what am I going to do? Well, I took a piece. Hold on, I want to pull all of my pieces out so that I have them ready for me. I've already popped out this piece. I'm going to pop this piece out as well, because I believe I'm going to use one of these pieces for the inside. Maybe not right at this moment, but for the inside of my card. So here is the front of my card. And then I have picked this piece, and it has little holes. So it's sort of like a small, what we would in the States would probably call a loose leaf binder, a school binder, 3-ring binder, although this would be a 6-ring binder. And I'm going to put that on the front, but I kind of want to rough it up a little bit. And you can take the tip of your scissors. Do you remember long ago when we had one of those tools? I still have mine, by the way, that let you do this a lot easier. It was awesome. I don't know why. No, it's like very few companies sell those anymore, and I'm not quite sure why. But it's fun to kind of get these scraped up a little bit. And so this does take a minute. And because I'm roughing it up, I'm not being like super careful. Like it's getting bent up and stuff. I don't care. In fact, a little bit of bending, I think, gives it some character. Okay, so I've got that now for the front. And I have colored a piece of white ribbon. This came from the paper pumpkin that just went by. I think if you watched, you might remember that I showed them and then I was going to put them on something and then I didn't. I like spaced right out and did not put them on there. But on this one I'm going to put it on there. And then all the details, that was one of the little labels. And I used this awesome punch. It is called Elegant Edge. As far as I know, it is still available. Okay, and so what I did was I put it in once, turned it around, and put it in again. And I kind of played with the measurements. So I would just say kind of eyeball it and try to figure it out so that you get the size that you want. This one came out just right. I don't know why. So, but I'm happy about it. Okay, so I will be using these. All right. So now I am going to grab, hold on, all of those leafy things that I said I had left from the kit. All right, so I don't want to glue this down yet. So it's a little too bumpy. Let me straighten that out a little bit. I don't want to glue it down yet because I'm going to put that ribbon on it. So I'm going to start with my different leaf patterns, and this blue one is nice and big, so it's actually a Lost Lagoon, okay, which is the color I use to color the ribbon, by the way. I use that color of blends, so I'm just going to put that one down nice and flat. But for the other ones, I am going to grab my embossing buddy. You guys know there's a new one in the catalog. This is the one I've had for years. And look at how, I mean, it's old. It's obviously old and thinner, but it still works. So for these other ones, I am going to be using my embossing buddy. Now this one is in Wild Wheat, which is the same color as the card background. So got to be a little careful, because it does want to jump around, but I want to put these up on dimensionals, which is why I don't want them to be sticky. Because otherwise the dimensionals will only work partially, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I can take this one, and it's got, you can see I'm getting the dust everywhere. That's okay. I'm just gonna sweep it up with that for just a minute. And then had to make sure I was still recording. This is the problem when you don't go live. It's like, what's going on? So I'm going to take some dimensionals and I'm gonna put them on all of the little leaves on this one. Now I'm seeing these are kind of small, so I might grab some of my minis for those 2 leaves. I love having 2 sizes of dimensionals. How about you? Do you guys like that? I hope you're commenting, even though this is pre-recorded. I'd still really like to hear from you guys. That dimensional is sticking out a little bit, and we can't have that. I'm going to trim it off a little. Okay. I can see it's still a little sticky where I, like, you know, there's enough powder on it maybe. I don't know. All right. I think, yep, I got them all. So now this one is going to stick up a little bit from that one. And it's kind of going in the similar direction as that one. And I'm going to repeat that with this leaf. I think those are my this is my last leaf. Yep, it is. Oh no, I have that one too. Yay. Okay, so I am going to do the same thing with these 2. So rather than have you have to watch me do that, I'm going to pause the video and I will be right back. Okay, so I have powdered those and I have added the dimensionals. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put down this one with those. I guess I could have picked these all off when you guys weren't watching too, but hey, you know. Now I did skip a leaf here. That's because I'm kind of guessing that it might go, this one might go over the top of that one, which is already dimensional. Of course, these are hitting it too, so I guess it didn't really matter. So now I've got that. And then this last one, which is in the awesome Calypso Coral, adds a nice pop of color. And I didn't worry so much about this one popping up because I did want the extra dimension from the leaf behind. Okay, so now I'm not going to worry about those because they are going to be under the ribbon, right? And you guys know my trick. I like to have my ribbons stick really well. So I put some kind of a strong adhesive on the back. I think it's struggling because I have it got a lot of powder on it, so there we go. I had to flake all the powder off of it. So now I can lay this over those edges. It's kind of nice because I also have lines there to help me stay straight. On that one I want to be careful when I overlapped it so that it didn't show through too much on the other side. Now I'm going to adhere it to my card front, like so. Whoops, sorry about that. I left my adhesive on my other table. Now I know that I've got this all kind of bent up, so it's gonna, you know, be a little funky when it wants to stick, and that's okay. That's all right if it's a little bit messy. That's kind of the look I'm going for, is a little bit messy. And I believe this one is 4 by 5 1/4. So now I'm just going to hold that for a second because, like I said, it's kind of mutilated. So now when you stick it down, you don't see I don't know if you can see it on camera. You don't see terribly that I folded it because I didn't make the folds like super strong, creasy, but they are there. Now, what did I do with, there it is. Now I've got my, all the details. Now at first I was wondering, like, what am I doing with this, all the details? What does that mean? I don't even know, what the heck. But then I thought about it and I thought, you know what? This is no different than a note card, right? Now I want you to see that it is popped up against a lot of popping up. So my dimensionals are only going to go on the bottom. You can see this is actually sticker paper that I had on the back of a scrap that I used, but I don't want it to be sticky there. So, well, actually, I guess it can. So I'll go ahead and see. It's been on there for quite a while, so I don't know how well it'll pull off. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to just put a little bit of adhesive here. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to pop that off to the side like so that it almost matches up to the ribbon. Now I could have done it in a different color, this background, so maybe it would have popped a little bit more, but I kind of like that it's a little monotone-y. And then of course we've got to have some gems, right? I think gems are really important. So I am going to be using, look at how sparkly those are. They're so pretty. These are the 2003 to 2005 in color opaque sparkle dots. So they kind of go with the in color, which this is an in color, the wild wheat. So I'm just going to grab a few of those and pop them on. And I don't know how many. I think I might decide to get a little carried away. I'm going to grab some of these. These are not that color technically, but it kind of looks like it, right? It kind of looks like Calypso Coral. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some additional color down in around. And remember, we want to keep it uneven. So right now I have 6 on there and we can't have that. So we're going to go to 7. So there we go. And then on the inside, this one is a little too long. This one will fit perfectly on the inside. But if you wanted to use this one, now this one has a bunch of holes too, like a notebook. You could still put that in there and then just tear it, and that could look fun too. But if you're making this as a note card, either put in some basic white or go ahead and add that piece in, and it'll match to this piece, and it'll give you an opportunity to then write some personal messages in there. So that is my plan, and as you can see, there's very little I have left. I have some stars, really that's it, and some, I've got all the numbers. I didn't use any of the numbers. I have bits and scraps. These could be added to the inside, but I mean, it's only 1.5 of these strips left. One of these big blocks, a little piece of a block, little labels, which are always good to keep, more notes, all the little pink circle envelopes. I have quite a few of those left. And like I said, I've used so many of the alphabets that like I'm out of E's, and you see like this is where I cut an extra O. This is like one of those symbols that's like an O and an E. I don't know what it's called. So I needed another O, so I cut it off there. And the other two, because there were 3 of these, I cut out the E's because I needed more E's. So you never have everything you want, right? And then I've still got some pockets that will be great for my scrapbooking and all of these notes. So this kit is just, it's amazing. And I'm trying to remember if I wrote in here. Maybe it's on the box. Hold on. Yes, it's only $22, and it is number 163904. And so I made all these cards, and it made the scrapbook, which is right here. So it's awesome, and it holds a lot, you guys. I mean, it's a lot. It's got the pockets. I mean, look at this big pocket. And I could fit more in there. I could, because you can add an 8.5 by 11 page in here and fold it in half. So it's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's going to, just add them to these pages. I imagine if you wanted to, you could string some more elastic through the center. There's space, so I imagine you could do that if you wanted to, but it holds a ton. So this is an awesome kit. So real quick, I will go through again some of the things that I did with it. Of course, the scrapbook, this fun card, which I just did with you today with some of the leftover pieces, a fun little way to add some notes to some note cards, and some fun travel themed notes. There you go. So anyway, that is it for today. Again, I am Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan. You can shop for Stampin' Up! Products on my website, MemoryINKers.com. Again, today, August 6, 2024, is the last day to use this hostess code, ZGH9J4DG. If you're looking for my next hostess code, it will be posted on my Facebook page, facebook.com/MemoryINKers. That's where you're watching this here, unless you're watching the upload to YouTube and the volume group. So if you have any questions, MemoryINKers@gmail.com. And I know y'all are probably making comments. This is not live, so I can't see them. So I know you guys are all making comments about prayers for my husband, Michael. So thank you in advance. And I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed and wonderful week. Bye.